Well, I'm sorry, Your Honor. Sorry to interrupting. Your Honor, the only reason I'm kind of contemplating is because I feel like, especially from Ms. Garcia, that I'm just not getting cooperation in good faith. I feel like they're discriminating against me because I'm pro se. Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Can you see me okay? Because I'm not seeing myself on the screen. So
yeah, you don't have your camera on.
This is my first time on Zoom. Can you help me with
So sure, there's a are you on a computer or a
computer?
Tablet? So at the bottom of the screen it'll say video.
Okay.
It'll have a mute your microphone button and then a stop video button. You click
I see
there.
the stop video button.
Click there. Is there a red slash through it? There you click it.
Now there's a red slash on it.
Okay, then unclick it. And then that means your computer may not have a camera.
That may be the case.
Do you have a little peephole at the top of your screen?
No, I don't see anything. That may be the issue with this computer.
Should fine.
Are we okay, or should I get on my? Okay. Okay.
We're okay. I'll give you a pass this time. Not a problem. So
thank you.
And then we have Mr. Miranda, Ms. Jeanette Garcia, Mr. Mike Pipkin for the defense. Mr. or Dr. Applebaum, I apologize. Where are we on your lawsuit?
So I filed a second amended petition on December 12th. The amended petition is still out for service. Getting a hold of Mark Hernandez has been an ordeal to serve him. We've had trouble, locating him. As far as
you have an answer, he answered back.
Yes, Judge. The answer actually was through I guess his insurance company is representing him at this point. It's
filed by Ms. Jeanette Garcia.
Correct.
He has counsel and she's here. So you can amend and send it to her.
Oh, we can? Okay, I wasn't sure about that. Okay, I didn't know if we had to serve him directly or not.
That's what I would do, Ms. Garcia. Okay. Do you disagree?
No, I don't disagree, Your Honor.
All right. So so you have now an amended petition. And
correct.
And what else?
Discoveries have been exchanged. I'm still waiting a pending from Jeanette Garcia on the discovery.
I believe we answered the interrogatories that were served from my recollection. I need to check.
Yeah, I have not received the interrogatories back from you. Yesterday I did receive it back from the Miranda law firm.
Okay, I will follow up. I believe we did answer a few months back, but I'll follow up to see if to double check on that.
Okay. Also, I believe disclosures have been exchanged, but I think I never got it back from the complete group as well on the disclosures.
You haven't gotten it from who?
From the complete group. I guess Ed Miranda is representing the complete group.
Oh, I see. Okay. Mr. Miranda?
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning.
First of all, I've not received any amended pleadings from the plaintiff, so I would hope that Mr. Applebaum would be so kind as to send me a copy of his amended pleadings. The parties have engaged. I'm sorry. The parties have engaged in some written.
Go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt.
May I proceed, Your Honor?
Yes.
The parties have engaged in some written discovery. No depositions have yet been scheduled, and I don't think they'll be scheduled until all the parties have entered an appearance in the case. The responses to the request for disclosures were made by George Lopez. He is DBA, the complete group, so it's not like we got two different defendants there. It's one and the same. But if Mr. Applebaum still contends that he would like the complete group to file a response, we will do so, but he needs to understand that they're the same responses that George Lopez filed.
Yes, sir. I do understand that. And I did email the amended petition on December 12th, I believe, to you.
This is my
Well,
tip.
I was out of the office for 2 weeks in December, so it may have come in. I just never saw it. If you don't mind resubmitting it for me, I'd appreciate it.
I sure can do that.
This is only for travelers, and I joined in that request, and I'm looking at my emails on this case. I've not received an email with the second amended petition, nor did I receive any sort of ECF notification from the court indicating that it had been filed.
It was sent to all three parties on December 12th. Jeanette, did you receive yours?
So it wasn't e-filed. It was personally filed on paper. So it is on my it shows it's filed on my end, but I can tell it wasn't an e-filing. That's why the parties didn't get it on e-file. If he independently emailed it to you, and they haven't received it, sounds like no one's received it, Mr. Applebaum. You need to send it again.
I'll send it again.
Right. They usually keep an eye out on new filings because of the e-file system, but since you're not utilizing that process, you have to kind of do it the old-fashioned way and make sure you follow up to make sure it's received.
Okay, yeah, because I've never used e-file before, so I'm not sure how that works. So everything was sent via just regular email.
Right. So it was defense. It was filed on December 8th.
Was it December 8th that I did the second amended petition?
That's the date that it's filed on my.
Okay, then that would have been the date that actually it was sent, was December 8th. But I'll send it again to all parties that did not receive it yet.
And he did make requests for citation. All of them show as unserved at this point. But anyway. So
Is it Judge, is it okay to send the petition for the amended petition out for service directly to Mr. Miranda and Mrs. Garcia as far as representing their clients? Would that be okay to do that?
I would say yes. Mr. Miranda made a request that you send it to him directly. I would say yes.
Okay.
Move it along.
All right.
So we're in discovery, and did you ask for a jury trial, Dr. Applebaum?
Yes, I want a 12-person jury trial. And I want to set the trial date to be after June. I'd like some time to, I'm open to mediation. I might retain counsel as we get closer to that date, but also more importantly, they have not requested of me or propounded upon discovery, and so I can't present my evidence to them until they cooperate on that.
Yeah, sure. If they don't want your evidence, then doesn't mean you don't get to present it.
Okay, I wasn't sure about that, if there was a process to get that.
Yeah, there is a process, but if they don't request it, they can't claim surprise later.
Okay,
But
so
anyway, let me just back up a little bit.
Yeah.
So you suggested you might get an attorney as we get closer to the trial date. That will not work. A lawyer will not take on a case and you say, hey, jury trial is a month from now or a week from now, or whenever it is that you feel you want to do that. They need to be involved from the onset. If you're serious about getting an attorney,
Well,
would
I'm sorry,
suggest
Your Honor.
sooner.
Sorry interrupting. Your Honor, the only reason I'm kind of contemplating is because I feel like, especially from Ms. Garcia, that I'm just not getting cooperation in good faith. I feel like they're discriminating against me because I'm pro se.
How are they discriminating against you?
Well, she objected to all my requests for production. Every request was objected.
I don't think that's discrimination. I see that all the time between lawyers who are zealously representing their clients, and so there are remedies, they're in place. When somebody objects to everything, doesn't give you anything, then there's a thing called a motion to compel, and I get involved. Then you know, then I start doing some work on it, and if there's
Okay.
a reason
Well, then,
to not disclose stuff, then there's reasons not to disclose stuff. It depends on
So-
how you ask it. There's just a lot of law behind that and procedure behind that. But I
So
wouldn't
maybe-
jump to the conclusion that there's discrimination.
okay, well, I feel like maybe we need to go down that road because she objected to everything that I requested.
Okay, then, see, this is another reason why I would suggest you get an attorney sooner than later, because if you don't know stuff, from my perspective, it just delays the movement of the case.
Okay,
You're sitting on the situation, not knowing what to do. I'm not aware of it. The parties aren't aware that you're even concerned about it. And so it just delays movement on the case. So
Okay,
that's
well-
another reason why I would suggest you get an attorney sooner than later.
I will start talking to some attorneys then.
Yeah, because, and as I said a minute ago, no lawyer is going to take the case when it's up against a trial date, especially when they haven't been involved from the onset, especially when it's been a pro se litigant who's been managing it, and you miss opportunities to do stuff. So
Yes, Your Honor.
So it's, you know, it's in your best interest that you consider it sooner than later. I'm
I will.
gonna set the trial date. Other than the trial date and the final judges conference, you're gonna get an order mediating. That's true for everybody. All parties must mediate their case at least 60 days before trial to possibly reach a resolution. And then I don't get involved in the case unless a written motion is filed and a request for hearing is made. It can be done at any time on whatever issue is necessary. You just call our coordinator and we'll get you on the court's calendar to have a hearing. If Zoom is what everyone prefers, you know, Zoom is what we prefer to do as well.
Your Honor, I prefer not to do Zoom if that's okay with you. I'd rather do it in courthouse.
Mr. Pipkin, are you in El Paso?
No, Your Honor, I'm in Dallas.
Yeah. I will, Mr. Applebaum, I will consider your request. I will consider your request on a kind of on depending on the motion. If it's gonna be something kind of routine-ish, I don't want to put the parties through the expense of having to come to El Paso for a 5-10 minute hearing. Oh, okay. I don't have that message, Udi. Let me see. I didn't get a message, Udi. Mr. Applebaum, I'm being informed by the clerk of the court that you have not filed your fee for a jury trial.
I have not filed what now?
You haven't filed your fee or paid your fee for a jury trial. There's a specific process also for getting a jury trial. And so I would get that squared away as soon as possible so that we can get you your jury trial.
Thank you. I will take care of that.
Okay.
Also,
Judge,
Judge, one other thing, Judge,
Hold on.
at the same time, I'd like to request the mediation be done in the courthouse in person as well.
The mediations
in
are done
person.
with certified mediators in their offices. They're mediation firms, kind of like law firms, but mediators are what happens is you confer with the lawyers on a mediator, pick one. There's several in the city that work civil cases. All of them, in my opinion, are very good. So you really can't go too wrong on picking one, but you pick one together and then you go to their office. The mediator won't come to the courthouse. They have
Okay.
conference rooms, right? They have conference rooms, and there's a whole procedure for mediation too. There's a process and procedure when you engage in a mediation.
Okay.
So that's what I would suggest that you start working on. If you want to do that sooner than later, you can do that. As long as it's done. I really don't care when it's done, as long as it's done before trial.
Yes, Your Honor.
Judge, may I make a suggestion?
Yes, sir.
Since Mr. Applebaum has suggested that he might retain counsel in this case, I would suggest that the court set a hearing on that issue sooner than later, maybe 60 days out forward, and make it a condition that if he doesn't retain counsel by then, that he will be precluded from retaining counsel for the trial of this case. Because like the court said, you're not going to allow an attorney to come in or try to come in at the last minute and try and continue the case because he hasn't been involved in the case. So, and once you have an attorney, then we can continue with scheduling orders and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I don't necessarily want to do that. Mr. Applebaum does have the right to represent themselves. I've put him on fair notice and the rule of a lawyer won't make an appearance so close to the trial date. That's a matter of practicality. A lawyer has their own settings, has their own dockets, and they take on your case, Mr. Applebaum, and you say, well, we're set for trial next week. They're gonna have strong reservations about taking your case. You're gonna have a harder time finding a lawyer.
I understand, Judge. I will start talking to some attorneys.
And if you don't, and I don't remember if I've given you my spiel on it. If you do not get an attorney, my job is not to help you through the process and procedures. You'll be treated the same as a litigant with an attorney. Held to the same rules, held to the same standards in the courtroom. I'll consider continuances only on the same level of consideration I would with an attorney. I have hundreds of cases pending on my docket too, and you need to kind of follow through on my timeline, and I don't follow through on yours.
Yes, Your Honor, I understand
how it works. Okay, so I'm just gonna leave it to you to do it sooner than later. My feeling as I'm talking to you is that you're understanding the seriousness of the case, obviously, and what's involved in it. It's not something that people just jump in and say, I'm just going to do it on my own, especially when it's involving, high-priced matters. There's reasons why lawyers go to law school and have certain duties to the court. But, at the end of the day, it is up to you.
Judge, just real quick on the mediation. You're saying that when we contact a mediator between the two parties, that will be done in their office in a conference room?
Right, that's usually right. Mediators have firms or offices, just like law firms, I guess, and mediators conduct the mediation in their offices. And once you go through the mediation, you'll see why it's not set up like a regular law firm. There's a process to it, and the offices accommodate it with various rooms. I mean, it's kind of a thing to go through that. So yes, it's in there. So confer with the other lawyers, pick a mediator. We have very good ones here in El Paso. So go through that. If any of the lawyers need my attention, let me know. Mr. Applebaum, I am not going to set it for jury trial until you completed that process with the Office of the District Clerk. And when you do, just send an email to Udi, copy all of the lawyers on the email, and tell us to set it for jury trial. Otherwise, it's gonna be set, so it doesn't fall through the cracks, I'm gonna set it for a bench trial, which is a trial in front of me. I will be the fact finder instead of a jury of 12. I will be the fact finder if you never complete the jury trial request.
Okay, and that's at the county attorney's office where I've been filing all the other paperwork?
The office of the district clerk.
Office of district clerk. Okay.
Okay, and so I'm gonna set it for bench trial. I'm gonna set it probably in like September, October. And then I'll switch it to jury trial if we finish that process. If anyone needs my attention, call Udi for a court hearing. And it'll likely be on Zoom unless I'm convinced that it would be a better idea to have it in person. Okay,
So the motion to file for a in person, when do you need that by?
you can file that anytime. But
Okay.
but if it's gonna be, I can tell you now, if it's gonna be a blanket, I want everything in person, it's gonna get denied.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Anything further, Dr. Applebaum?
No, Your Honor.
Anything further, Mr. Miranda, Mr. Pipkin, Ms. Garcia?
No, Judge, thank you.
Plaintiff, Your Honor.